these people are very greedy. So just waving 100 grand for them doing nothing and telling them, I'll have you $1 million in 5 years. This kind of piqued their interest. So, okay, we'll go along with this plan. Okay. So I called the event World Hemp Expo Extravaganza. That idea to call it that, I was calling it the World Hemp Expo. Then I went out to, I wanted to do this with Keezy and the Merry Pranksters and the Rainbow Family, which had started in Portland. Keezy's in Eugene. So I'm like, I will go to the Eugene area. I will rent a site. I will throw a rock festival as a peace ceremony. Where the point is, on Sunday, we're going to have a silent meditation for world peace. And this is all preparatory to going to the Supreme Court to prove our case. They're going to have to let all the hippies out of jail that are in jail on marijuana charges. Because marijuana is protected by a new Religious Freedom Act. And I mean, this was a slam dunk. And I kind of didn't realize at the moment, but I was untouchable. The cops couldn't come in and disrupt the event. They couldn't harass us. Because if they did, this story that, hey, we're just praying for peace. We're spiritual people. We're here to pray for peace. And part of the ceremony is, we didn't use marijuana in my ceremonies. Like, we didn't have marijuana on the stage. We weren't telling people to smoke marijuana. But we didn't tell them not to. It's like, my thing was marijuana is for adults. So, and I wanted the whole family at the ceremonies. So we had a kid village, which was lifted from the Rainbows. And you couldn't use marijuana, you couldn't smoke there. Cigarettes, no. We're going to keep the kids away from anybody who's smoking. And we're not going to smoke on stage because, kids might see that. So we had a different approach to everything. And we were untouchable. But we were so heavily under surveillance. They had to find a way to bring this down. So anyway, the event's over. And they decide, one of the part owners was there because they had to be in charge of the money and stuff. And they got listed out. They started overpaying everybody. They want to, it's like the vibe, they got zapped by the vibe, like me at Woodstock. But then they left on Saturday because Sunday was free. They didn't need to be there for Sunday. They didn't stick around for the peace ceremony. They just overpaid everybody and left. But they didn't pay one guy. They stiffed one guy, the property owner. He was, I believe, was a speed freak, crystal meth guy, and his house was a wreck. And he was married to some Nicaraguan woman, and he had a bunch of kids running around. And he wanted to talk to them without me around. So he invited them into his ramshackle, dirty house and made one of these millionaire relatives of Tom Forssad, who's very rich because High Time's making so much money, and made her sit down on a chair that she felt she shouldn't even be in because it's so filthy and everything. Anyway, he pitched to them that I needed to be gone and he needed to do everything, get rid of Hager. You know what I mean? So it's like the magic vibes, the peace ceremony, all that shit. He didn't want that. He just wanted the rock and roll show. So he didn't understand how what I was doing was protected by, So, but anyway, we get back. The event has made hundreds of thousands of dollars, lots of publicity. I get called into the lawyer's office. I'm thinking, oh, here we go. We're going to talk about how we're going to go to the Supreme Court now with all the evidence I've got about, the history of cannabis, religion, blah, blah, blah. No. I'm being brought in so he can tell me we's over. We're not doing another one. Didn't make any money, which was a flat out lie. And it's like, I was flabbergasted. All right, so it's over. So I accept it. I go back to my office and everything. A couple weeks later, we get a legal notice that we're being sued by the landowner. They stiffed him for $5,000 that they owed him based on the ticket sales because he offended one of the hoity-toities. It's like, these people have so much money, they don't fucking care about making a couple $100,000 off a festival. It's like, she was so unhappy with this guy, she wanted to punish him. So she stiffed him while she triple paid the Rainbows who were working for free. All my volunteers had signed up to work for free. They all got paid money. We could have made a lot more money, but I was happy to see people get paid. Why not? Felipe, the guy that ran Kid Village, I think he ended up with $12,000 for a week's work. So it was crazy. The whole thing went down, and then they kill it, and then we get the legal notice, and then I go see the lawyer again. I say, okay, I can take care of this. I'll tell him that we'll do another one, and he'll drop the suit. So the lawyer doesn't want to do any work. He doesn't want to have to. Anyway, he's got other people to do the legal work. He's just the figurehead, really. He's in charge, but he doesn't want to carry any weight around. But I knew I could sell the landowner. I didn't like the guy. I didn't want to go back there. But if we went back there, he dropped the suit. And he did.